We're going to go to the movies. This is a movie that was a book, and now it's a movie, and Steven Spielberg put it together. It's called Ready Player One, go!
The Oasis was the brainchild of James Halliday.
Hello. If you're watching this, I'm dead. I created a hidden object, an Easter egg. The first person to find the egg will inherit $500 billion and total control of the Oasis itself.
Who is this?
Ooh, directed by Steven Spielberg. How about that? Ready Player One. It was a book. The author is from Ashland.
Oh, really?
That's right. Grandpa's Cheese Barn is there. Well, also the author that wrote this book.
Okay.
Very popular book, and we're in the year 2045 right now in Columbus, Ohio, believe it or not.
Okay. Really?
And the world is so messed up that everyone sort of lives in this virtual reality. So you got this virtual reality, like you get up in the morning, things are crummy, you put on the goggles and you go and you have your adventures throughout the day. Well, the guy who invented this virtual reality, the Oasis, dies. And part of a brand new game is if you find these 3 special Easter eggs, that you will take over the Oasis, which is the whole world practically, and become the richest person in the world. So it's one of those things where you got a hero, you got a heroine, you've got a villain, and you've got Steven Spielberg. He directs it. Ty Sheridan is the star. He's the hero, and talks a lot about appreciating Spielberg.
Steven's incredibly graceful, and you know, Lena Waithe, when asked to describe what it was like working with you and what you like, she said, Steven is a giant that doesn't make you feel small. And I think that's, you know, that bleeds through and speaks to us and the rest of his crew, and you know, he has a quality that whenever he's speaking and he's directing, everybody's tuned in. There's not one person on his entire set that has their back turned, and so, you know, he has great qualities of a leader and also a friend and a collaborator. And really, I think the rest of the cast and the crew would agree with me that I felt nothing between us together. I felt like it was the only thing between us was the story.
Spielberg really knows how to tell a story. I talked to a bunch of people who read the book, and then I've also seen the movie, and they say the movie's a little different, but they really appreciated the way Spielberg told the story.
That's always good, because sometimes you read a great book, and to be able to translate it to a film doesn't always work that well.
Yeah, then you're a little disappointed or whatever. And people always ask me, you know, who's the favorite guy you ever talked to? You know, and Steven Spielberg is right up there. So he's one of those guys you just love, and he creates these great worlds for you. We've got a villain in the story, also played by Ben Mendelsohn, and of course he's going to talk about Steven Spielberg.
Okay.
The first time that you do something that it makes him happy, like that sort of gets his kind of juices going, that's kind of unforgettable. I mean, the reaction that you get when he goes, yes, that's a big movie moment, and I'm not going to do it at full volume, but that's, yeah, that's kind of like a dizzy kind of otherworldly moment. This is someone who is, you know, tirelessly in service of the audience, and that focus and that dedication to the audience, and trying not to get lost in, you know, the milieu or the ideas. He's comes back to it. Audience.
He doesn't seem like a bad guy, does he?
Not
No,
there.
he's a very nice guy.
Yeah, and that's the kind of villain it is too. It's a villain that sort of makes sense, but he's a rat fink, you know, one of those kind of things. And I talk about how much fun it is to talk to Spielberg. I thought, like, why don't we let Steven Spielberg have something to
All
say
right,
here?
yes, that would be great.
You know, I think we've been escaping too much since the invention of television. You know, we just have more devices and mediums to escape into than we did in my generation when I was first a child. But you know, social media today is no different than what my parents used to say when I was young. Stay away from TV, and later you're watching too much television, you know, you're going to rot your brain. The same warnings parents give their kids today. You know, you're going to get bone spurs in your neck. You keep looking down at your device. Someday you're going to straighten up, and you're not going to be able to. The same warnings parents give their kids. We've always been prey to diversion, all kinds of diversions, and but there are now so many different ways we can lose the sense of making eye contact with real people in the real world. And so in a way, Ready Player One is also a cautionary tale.
Interesting.
What do you think of that, huh?
That was cool. Oh, it's very
This
nice.
is why they admire him so much. He truly is. He's just
Yeah, he's got a great vision,
original.
and he has a way to tell the story and to make you understand it without you even knowing that's what you're learning or what you're hearing.
the vision.
Yeah, talented guy.
So impressive.
Love the